Wow. The Boston Celtics take a very commanding 2-0 lead versus the Dallas Mavericks in this year's NBA Finals. Now they're going back to Dallas with games on Wednesday and Friday. Before I start my spiel, I want to go into a play that was very pivotal. At this moment, it was a 5-point game, ladies and gentlemen. 5-point game at this point in time. Derek White gets the so-called block, but we can't sit here and ignore the push from my dog JB on his back in air. That's why PJ didn't even get to elevate correctly, right? That's a badly missed call by the refs. And secondly, it's not even a block because I believe PJ hit the rim first and then the hands hit the ball. I don't know. Either way, the refs can't miss a call like that in a game like this because he makes that, or if he gets fouled there, he can make it a 3-point game, right? I think it was 98-105 at this point. No, it might have been 98-103. And he makes the 2 free throws. Now it's 103-100 within less than a minute left. So it's like now it's a 1-possession game, and it's very pivotal, right? So this play right here can come back to bite them in the butt. But that's what happens when you put the game in the ref's hands from time in and time out. Now I want to go over today's stats in game 2. Derek Jones, 11 points. PJ Washington, 17 points. Derek Gafford, 13 points. Kyrie, my brother, 16 points, 7-18 from the field. He hasn't been able to get into a rhythm in this series, and he's now 0-12, I believe, against the Boston Celtics since leaving the Boston Celtics. So, or I think 0-11 or 12, whatever, in Boston. Whatever the case may be, he has a losing record against Boston in recent memory. I think for him, it's going to be huge in Game 3 for him to get a rhythm, because when he's in rhythm, they have a shot. People are forgetting this. They were down 29 points in Game 1, came back and made it a reasonable game. Like, it was a single-digit game, right? Today, they're down 11 with like less than 2 minutes left. Come back and possibly can go, possibly turn into a 3-point game with this play right here. And Kyrie still hasn't had a great game. So that, for me, is the positive looking at it for the Dallas Mavericks is we're in all these games without our 1A, 1B guy, struggle a little bit, I think he's going to figure it out in Game 3 in Dallas, and it's going to be very huge for them. Luka, on the other hand, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. For me, it's not Luka's points, rebounds, and assists. It's him taking care of the ball. Okay, he had 8 turnovers tonight. When you're playing against the likes of Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, JT, more so Drew and JB, right? Because those are his primary defenders. Well, JB's been his primary defender. They've been making it very hard on Luka Doncic. And it's kind of surprising to me. He's been turning the ball over a lot. Like, not bad passes turnover, like getting the ball taken from him in Game 1. Because I wanted to get on here and kind of give my spill after watching the first 2 games and after every game. Because I wanted to get more of a consensus of what I'm witnessing. And it's crazy. Also, what's very pivotal in this series is Luka Doncic is getting blown by almost every single possession he's guarding, whether it be JT or JB. And what that is doing is it's collapsing the defense, right? So when I drive and go by you, someone has to help, which opens up the kickouts, which is what the Boston Celtics love to do. They love the kick out 3. They love shooting threes, specifically off kickouts, because then it's like kick out, boom, swing, 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 open shot. And that's what's really driving their offense right now, because when the Dallas Mavericks had an early lead in this game, it was those possessions where it's drive, open paint, kick, drive, open paint, kick. Now everything's scrambling. Shot goes up. It's a long rebound. Offense rebound. Another 3-point attempt. Kick. Another 3-point attempt. Make it, right? So it's like second chance points. The ability to get paint touches is huge right now for the Boston Celtics. And off the bench right now, they're only getting 6 points. Or, 10 points off the bench. The Dallas Mavericks are. But I don't think they're going to win off their bench. I just think if Kyrie has a better game, past 2 games, they could very well be 1-1, dang near 2-0. That's why I'm very hopeful going into Game 3, Game 4 that they're going to figure it out, because their other guy is going to figure it out. I guarantee that. Let's move forward to the Boston Celtics side now. Game 1, clear favorite. Jaylen Brown was the Finals MVP. Tonight, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. He's been phenomenal on defense, guarding Kyrie and Luka. Phenomenal on defense. Jason Tatum struggled a little bit again tonight. He was 6-22 tonight, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal. It's not about who's better between JB and JT for me. But I think it's they have the ability to be better than one another on a given night. I think that's the freaking icing on the cake. You have two guys who can literally be the best player on the floor every single night, given matchups. I think this matchup suits Jaylen Brown more. I think this is the matchup that Jaylen Brown's really going to excel in this series, and that's okay. Doesn't mean Jason Tatum is inferior. Doesn't mean Jaylen Brown's inferior to JT. I just think that their matchups favor one another for different series. You know what I'm saying? I think this one is Jaylen Brown's series. This is Jaylen Brown's Finals MVP to win, unless Jrue Holiday steals it, because, man, has he been playing absolutely freaking phenomenal. 26 points tonight, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 40 minutes on the court. JT played 45, JB played 42. But Jrue Holiday, when he and Jaylen Brown are going, they're one of the most scary teams in the world, because then Jason Tatum could literally take a back seat and he could just facilitate. 12 assists tonight, 9 rebounds. Now JT is entering the actual point guard role of the team, which is huge. But the moment JT becomes a primary scorer in this series I'm talking about, I think if JT becomes a primary scorer, it's going to get in the way of either Jrue Holiday or Jaylen Brown, which I think is going to get in the way of Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown's going to also want his touches because he's been going, you know what I'm saying, and he's been playing at a high level. So I think JT might actually take a backseat role in this series and let Jrue and Jaylen drive them, while JT's more the facilitator and Jrue is more of the offensive defensive threat, and Jaylen Brown is more of the offensive threat in this series that's also playing good defense on their main guys. So this is going to be a crazy series down the stretch here. Game 3 is very pivotal, not because it's a must-win for the Dallas Mavericks. I just think if all things are clicking, Dallas Mavericks have still have a great opportunity to win the series. We cannot forget Giannis beat Kawhi Leonard the first 2 games the year Kawhi Leonard won the NBA championship, and Kawhi won the next 4 games straight. I'm saying that because Luka Doncic is also that good to make something like that happen. Will it happen, though? I'm not sure. When the Dallas Mavericks get the lead, right? When they get the lead, they start to play a lot of iso ball. Granted, they play a lot of iso ball regardless, right? But then the moment they lose the lead, they actually somehow start to play a little more team basketball to get back into the game. And I'm like, if they could just instill that into the game, throughout the longevity of it, kind of mimic what the Boston Celtics do, I think they'd be way better off. But yeah, the Boston Celtics are a well-oiled machine right now. Well-oiled machine. It's gonna be. It's now. This is where the adjustments kick in. This is where coaching kicks in. So it's like now your coaches are gonna have to give you a good game plan going into Game 3 to execute. Because if you're blessed to reach a Game 7, all game plans go out the window now, which is mono be mono. You know what I'm saying? What team is better? But now Game 2, Game 3, Game 4 is all adjustment based, especially Game 2 and 3. So going into Game 3, I'm very curious to see what Jason Kidd is going to adjust here, because it's a lot of easy fixes from us, you know what I'm saying, outside looking in. But when you're actually in the trenches, man, it might be a little different, because you might see something way different than we're seeing. I think they have to focus on closing off the drive and just allowing and not allowing them to blow by you and get easy kickouts, because that's hurting the defense tremendously. That can't happen. Taking care of the ball for sure. Maintaining leads. Playing together, making open shots. You can't have a lot of mistakes against the Boston Celtics, because they get in transition very well, man. They get in transition with the best of them. For Dallas, for them specifically going against a team like this, they have to get in transition more somehow, some way, or some turnovers. Off make or misses, get it and go, get in transition more, because you don't want the Boston Celtics to set up their defense. Because what the Boston Celtics are doing very well right now, they're actually switching on the court, which is really hurting everything the Dallas Mavericks love to do, which is they like to force a switch, get the favorable matchup, and then attack. But with the Boston Celtics, they're switching getting their 1 through 5, and everybody's in boxes and elbows, so it's like kind of hard to really get the matchup you really want. They're doing a phenomenal job at that. So now that's coaching. They have to figure out an adjustment to be more successful on the offensive end. I'm not a freaking NBA coach, so I'm not necessarily, I don't know what they're seeing out there. From the college level, I can kind of dissect it a little bit, because it's a different ball game. When you're playing or when you're game planning for the best players in the world, I'm not there strategically yet. That's me being honest. But I do know there's a few nuances throughout is that the word? There's a few little tricks and tips, right, throughout the game that I feel like watching film will absolutely help. And that is 1, driving kicks, less paint touches. 2, taking care of the ball. 3, figuring out how we can exploit the matchups. Or figuring out how can we exploit the mismatches that we love seeking. Or, if they're going to fire a screen, which they haven't been doing, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they were firing screens, the Dallas Mavericks would be in a better place. But they're just straight up switching. Which Dallas Mavericks like to fire a screen because then I could drop it out to my big man. He's in a short roll now. He has his shooters on here. Derek Lively can kick to the corners with the shots. And then it's just like you also have Kyrie Irving, who's now open because usually they're helping off. And it's kind of, a better game for them. But the moment they start switching everything and they're not really firing screens like last series, it's a different ball game now. Now it's kind of literally one-on-one basketball, and that's what the Boston Celtics want the Dallas Mavericks to do. So how do they get out of this slump? I don't know. But I feel like they're going to figure it out. Okay, that's my spiel. Game 2 was it was a great game. It was a great game. The Boston Celtics look like the real deal right now. It's a 4-game series, though. It's a 4-game series. Game 3 is going to be a freaking movie on Wednesday, and I'm excited to see how the Dallas Mavericks respond. Now, I know Kyrie Irving is going to have a game. You can bank on that. He's going to have a game. You can bank on that. Damn it. That's my split. Hit that like button if you are not if you're new, just in general. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And we'll come with more. We'll come with. I can't even speak right now. More reactions on the way for the NBA Finals, man. The NBA season's almost over. I'm pretty upset, but this play right here, man. This could have been the play. The 2-minute report's going to come out, and they're going to say it's a foul, and it won't matter because a 2-minute report doesn't mean jack crap in the situation. But Game 3 Wednesday. See you then. Sayonara.